Said I'm guilty for loving you. Say what more I got to prove. You don't wanna know where I've been. The answer to your question. Said, baby girl, I'm guilty for loving you. Telling me what I'm gonna do. Baby girl. Yeah, I'm off for work, feel me? My bus don't come in like 20 minutes or so. Maybe more. I want to get in the habit of waiting for it. Feel me? Check out the background view. See a river. Don't hate me. Don't hate the play, you gotta hate the game. I ain't make it up. Though at this point in time, there'll be no reason to hate the boy no more. So I haven't really done nothing to y'all. Feel me? It's funny to me that the bus broke down the other time, and this time they parked the whole bus for me. They want me to get on that bus. I'm like, today must be my birthday. It must be the birth of a date that I don't even remember. They had a bus waiting on me. It wasn't even a bus stop. My bus was just waiting with the doors open. It was my bus. Like it was my bus. I was on my I was on my after work jog.
For your
safety and the safety is others. Stand behind the yellow line. So basically the bus was waiting with the doors open. The bus driver decided to stop the bus and open the bus. It saw me. I ran by it. It drove past me. Stopped on the corner of the next red light. As I ran or jogged across the street, I seen the bus driver coming out the bus with passengers, 2 passengers in the bus, Hispanics. The bus driver was black. The bus driver went into a store, ironically, that sells chicken, while the bus was open. It wasn't even a bus stop. It was just open. And I'm like, ain't this a bitch? We went from chasing after a bus to being on the bus to the bus breaking down. No, I gotta bring that back. Scratch that. It went from people trying to kick me off the bus because they said it's COVID-19, you can't be spitting like that, to me trying to catch me standing at a bus stop and the bus driving by me as if it didn't see me, to me being on another bus, the bus breaking down where we had to transfer to another bus. And today, ironically, a bus just stopped. It wasn't even a bus, it wasn't even a stop sign. It wasn't even a stop sign. The bus driver went into somewhere to go get something to eat while he got the bus open with 2 passengers in the bus. I'm like, ain't this a bitch? I told y'all niggas, man, these people don't know what they want. They just want to be in control. One day they're on this side, the next day they're on this side. I can't follow such. You feel me? But here I am. As you can see, I'll give you a clear view. You know? This is my shit right here. I'm the one who started directing the cameras like this. The reason why I know how to control the camera like that, because my first job when I came to America, my uncle used to operate as a cameraman. And my first job was with him. He decided he was like, yo, Jeff, come help me out. I got this. He has a small business. He had a small business, RIP to him. And he used to operate parties, birthdays, events, and record. And he record the whole thing and take pictures and print it out right there. So He told me everything I need to know about the angle of the camera. You feel me? You don't want to leave too much space up top between the camera itself. You want to get the person's whole face like this. You feel me? You don't want to waste space, because some people will take a picture and waste space like this. So he taught me all this thing. Let it pass. But when I added my own DNA to it. I decided to start doing this shit like that. The things that are not the things that are controversial, I added it to the camera itself, so I could do some shit like this. I can leave the space up top, and that allows you to see over me, because it's all about perspective and angle. Watching women, women position themselves. A woman can be sitting at a certain spot. When you walk in a room, yeah, she's sitting there for a reason. It's probably her third choice, because the first choice, another woman got that choice already. You feel me? These girls is notorious. Girls are all about angles and perception, how a person sees them when they come out. I seen a YouTube video where the guy was a person who works at a gym was talking about how girls always like to work out by the men's locker room. So once the men come out their locker room, they see a bitch with an ass just doing squats. Feel me? Bitch want to be seen and validated. So it's always about position and angles to most women. You feel me? Because girls always grow up seeking the right companion. The difference between these girls or these women and the trainees don't understand the difference between the two. You feel me? They understand it. It's just that they want to be validated that they're a woman. But the problem with them is that the trash can. Okay, cool. I'm not trying to degrade them in any way. I want to teach them how to also angle themselves like a woman. You feel me? If you're trying to be a woman, you gotta learn everything about a woman. And in order for you to really know a woman, you have to want to desire to want them. You can't want to be like them and dress like one and not know how they act. You feel me? So this is just a lesson that you also need to learn as a person who has already went through a transition and you want to attract men. Men are always about angles, and women have to study the men and see that when men come in from the door, any man, you can ask any man that they want. Anytime a man walks in a room, a real man at that, they scan the room. A man always come in a room and scan the rooms. Scan it. You feel me? That's what real men do. We scan the room. A woman knows that, so she will position herself in the first place where she can be seen. You feel me? It has to be a direct angle and shit like that. So a woman would do some shit like that. A confident woman who knows she's very pretty, she might not even sit at a place where you can see her, because she's so used to getting that kind of attention. She might want to get away from the attention a little bit. So she might go sit somewhere in the back where she wants you to see everybody else before you see her. It's like walking through the crowd. You see potential. Then you get to see that bomb. After everything clears away, that's the first choice most women want. But if they have to settle, yeah, they'll be by the exit. You feel me? That's what I want these trainers to know sometimes, man. Like, I know the game is like, I watch these videos about them, and it's like the way they behave is predicated on the idea of not letting somebody else know they biological gender. They don't want to tell people their biological gender, but they don't know how to explain that. The reason why they don't want to tell people their biological gender, because it's like they believe that by saying so, it degrades them of who they are or who they've become. You feel me? So they don't want to give that away. You feel me? It defeats the purpose to them. In their mind, they think that it defeats the purpose, because it's like, if I tell you that, then that means that I am not who I'm presenting to be. It's almost like narcissistic with the mask on and everything else. A narcissist is not going to come to you and be like, this is who I really am. You feel me? No, they want you to see who they presenting to you, and that's how they operate sometimes. That's also their downfall, and that's how you can spot the difference and shit, especially in California when these niggas be looking like women, straight women, and you like, it's hard to tell the difference sometimes. But if you want to tell the difference, just look at the girls. Just don't look at her friend. Look at the other girls and see how they act around that person. They know. They be knowing. Anyway, man, you know, off for work. I'm off for work and shit like that, you feel me? Waiting on my bus. Tired as hell. That jogging sometimes, it's not easy. I told y'all niggas, it's really not easy, man. I don't make it look easy because I be struggling, running, jogging with my book bag on, just the way you see me as I am right now, as you can see. You feel me? I'm just the way you see me, I'm jogging like and sweaty and shit like that. Let's see, I'll show y'all niggas if y'all probably can see it. As you can see, sweat. You feel me? So it ain't easy. It ain't easy at all, but it's like I have to do it. Some days, yeah, I'll be like, I don't feel like doing it, and I take a cab. People assume, oh, he's injured and everything else like that. Even today, I felt like I wasn't going. I felt like I don't feel like running because it's a little chilly outside. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. You can tell by my hands. My hands is ashy a little bit. Yeah, it's a little chilly outside, but I'm like, you know what? Let me just do it, man. You feel me? That's the push. The hardest part, the hardest part in life itself is waking up out of bed and sticking to the decision that you've made already, that you have to go through it. That's the hard part. Doing it is the joy of it. Like, oh shit, I'm doing it.
Bags, cards, strollers,
you feel me? That's the hardest
other
part.
Belongings out of the aisles.
Let it pass.
A clear path.
It's the safe pass. Yeah, clear path is a safe pass. That's a topic on its own. Because you don't want to trip on things, you feel me? So you got to remove all the haters and the naysayers out your life. That's a clear path. Once you remove all the hate out your life, you can't literally tell people to stop hating on you. By removing the hate is by ignoring the hate. You got to let them hate. Let the haters hate. Once you do that, you're not going to trip over the words that they say. You're not going to trip over the things that they do. So that would be a safe pass for you to take. You feel me? Because you're not tripping about what they say no more. Like, you be like, yeah, they going to hate, man. Let them do them. You feel me? It's a nice car. You be like, it's like you just ignore it. You just grow. You grow the instinct of ignoring them. You know what I mean? It's not easy ignoring them neither. You feel me? The easiest thing you can do is walk the path. That's easy. The hardest part is carrying your cross while people are throwing things at you, words, insults, images, laughing and all that stuff. Yeah, that shit is hard, like Christ did. You know how Christ took his cross, walking, people was just, you feel me? Even Christ couldn't do it by himself. Some Ethiopian men had to help him carry his cross to the finishing line. You feel me? You always gonna need that help. You don't need to ask for help. Somebody who sees you doing the things that you need to do and see that you're going in the right place will come and provide you help. Don't seek for help. Help comes on its own. You feel me? Anyway, man, you know, I could talk about anything out here. So, clear path is a safe path, stereotype conversation. Dirty path, it's good, baby. But it's not her. You feel me? It is what it is, man. We want to talk about, we still talking about the self, you feel me? I want people to understand it. Dirty paths. You see, people, when it comes to the self, man, the self is like a sleeve. It's just like this shirt right here. It's just like this rag that I'm wearing around my ears to protect my face, my hat. These are all part of selves. These are things that we use to identify ourselves. So it's like a sleeve that you put on to make yourself feel comfortable, where you don't feel too naked. It's like when Adam and Eve fell into sin, right? Or tripped into sin itself, The first thing they did was cover themselves. This is how the illusion of self came into play. It is the covering of self. Confidence is a covering of self. Ego is a covering. These are all identification that we use to make ourselves feel comfortable. You feel me? Because we really do not know who we are. We didn't finish the course that God was trying to put us through. You feel me? So we use all these things as self to make us feel covered. You feel me? People say, I discovered myself. You can't discover yourself. You can't discover yourself. You feel me? These are just things that you use to make yourself feel relevant. These are things that you use. These are words and whatever words that you use to basically make yourself feel warm. You feel me? It makes you feel not naked. It makes you feel you don't feel exposed. You feel me? Because a person who's exposed, because Adam and Eve was exposed in the garden, and they had no idea that they was exposed. That's the true identification of self itself. Is not having all these names and attributes just to make yourself feel relevant. You feel me? If you want to be, I'm not saying naked as in you gotta be walking out here naked, you will get arrested for it. I'm talking about not using these words itself to identify who you are. You feel me? Consciousness, feelings, all these things that we use. What else people use? Cars, houses, degrees, all these things, tribes, ethnic background, people, long hair, the prettiness of the face, all these things that we rely on and dwell upon are just things that we use just so we can feel comfortable in our own skin. The representation of the leaf itself, they was using dry leaves. It's equivalent to you having a confidence, or you having these material things to put upon onto yourself, because it's like you have already disobeyed and now you realize that you feel naked itself, so you have to use these things to make yourself feel good. But without these things, how do you really feel? You feel me? How would you feel if you didn't have all these things to pronounce who you are as a person? If the things that you hold on to the most, if the dry leaves were snatched away from you, which is just something that's going to crack away, you feel me? This is the reason why a person can be so confident and somebody can say something to them, and guess what? If the person hit the right note, if a person hits the right note, just like a dry leaf, it cracks away. You feel me? Even if it was a fresh leaf, it would dry away. So all these things that we use to identify, even our identification of self, is to feel like something. It's to feel important. You feel me? Let it pass. All these things dry away. All of it. They all dry away. You feel me? We are on a journey of experience. When you take away all these things away from you, the only thing you realize, the only thing you have is life itself. The experience of life itself. You feel me? But you must not get attached to this, to the things that you come across as identification of you. You feel me? It's just a learning process. It is. It's all just a learning process itself. You feel me? It is. You feel me? So you must not identify yourself with these things like wife and kids. I am a family man, father of the year, employee of the year. All these titles that we hold on to. CEO. I am an employee. You feel me? These are all identification in any given time. I'm about to ride a bus. I'm about to be a passenger of the bus. When I get off the bus, I'm going to be a pedestrian. These are all the temporary identifications, and we have permanent identification. It's like colors itself. You have the primary colors and the secondary colors. Same thing with self. We have primary self and we have secondary selves. Secondary selves is what I'm about to go through right now, each and every day. I go through that, I sign in. If even on my job, I need an identification to get into that place and everything else like that. Even if I have a bank, I need identification as a card that indicates that I am the one that's the ownership of this thing, and I can take the money out and everything else like that. If you take all these things away, who are you? You feel me? That's what we're trying to get to. Who are you? You feel me? According to something that I was watching, I forgot the man's name, but according to him, consciousness comes from feelings. You feel me? It is the flavor of a feeling. This is what gives us consciousness. So if life is an experience and we're supposed to experience, how do we experience things? We experience things through feelings. You feel me? Through our 5 senses. Perception, seeing, touch, and all that, taste and all that shit. You know how that go. You feel me? So this is all we are. You feel me? We just here to just experience. You feel me? We must not get attached to the things that we come across. You feel me? We must not think that this is who we are. You have to see beyond that. Because if you don't see beyond that, then you get attached to these selves, these sleeves. You get attached to it. Then it becomes very personal to you. This is my sleeve. This is my country. Leave. You see, that's when people start talking like that, because they don't know who they are truly. You're supposed to treat thy neighbor as you treat yourself. You're supposed to love yourself as you love others. So how can you love yourself? How can you love yourself if you keep holding on to these things just to identify who you are? Which means you don't know who you are. You feel me? A person who lack confidence will go to somewhere to gain confidence. You feel me? But when you gain that confidence, let me pass. But when you gain that confidence, who are you still then? In order for you to have confidence, it means that you need it. It means that I need this thing right here. I need the confidence to move on. I need to be courageous to move on. All these words sounds very positivity. You feel me? Even positive. Say something.
Text something. Report unattended packages, graffiti, and suspicious activity to Omnitrans Security via text at 909-368-7711. Even you saying, "Oh, I'm part of this club," or you are LBGTCQ, or you are all these things. You feel me? In order for you to have courage, even to have courage to move on, they are the equivalent of crutches. It is like you using confidence. Let it pass. You're using courage, confidence, empathy, sympathy as courage to move on. Now, it's supposed to be temporary. You feel me? A crutch is something that you use to help you walk until you can get back on your own feet. When do we, as humans, let go of these crutches? 3 minutes, huh? You feel me? Let it go. When do we let go of these crutches and we can walk into our own purpose and we can be ourselves like the way we was meant to be? When would you win? You see, the problem is that when a person has crutches and using all these words and using cars, because people like to be like, I got a car, he doesn't have a car, he got to wait on the bus, ha ha ha. I got a house, I got a wife, he doesn't have a wife, ha ha ha. I have sex every night, he has sex in like 2 years, maybe more, ha 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 ha. You feel me? These are all crutches that they use to make themselves feel better. But if you don't rely on these crutches no more, don't that make you a stronger person than a person who rely on these things to identify themselves or to help them discover their self? You feel me? When does the kid let go of that pacifier and become his own self? The whole point of these things is for us to, from birth, you rely on your mom's titties and milk and everything else to make you stronger. They put the pacifier in your mouth, they comfort you and everything else. Then after that, you grow up. We're supposed to constantly move forward. The next phase of things as a man, no man stop growing. We are all children of God. No matter how old you are, that was the greatest shit I ever heard. No matter how old you are, we are all children of God itself. You feel me? Let it pass. There's a lot of noise out here. When you start seeing the truth, you know how that shit go. You see, we are all children of God just passing through. You feel me? Everybody got a ticket. We just passing through on a map system. Just passing through. You feel me? When do I stop relying on these things as a man and walk into my purpose and be free as I want to be? Do you need $1 million? These are all part of selves and shit. I am a millionaire. I am a billionaire. You feel me? These are just identification of who you are. Instead of we stopping and letting go of all these selves to identify who we are, we keep adding more titles, thinking that's going to make us feel better. And we don't understand why we don't feel better at the end of the day. Why do people just commit suicide and everything else like that? I mean, it takes a lot of courage to kill yourself. You feel me? Now, does that make courage good? Of course not. You feel me? Courage has always been bad. Courage is for little kids. Confidence is for little kids. These are things that you need just to help you through. You feel me? It's the equivalent of when it's cold outside, you drink a coffee. It keeps you warm for a little bit. Oh, my bus is coming. You feel me? I just want people to remove their sleeves. Have confidence. You feel me? You got to go through pain to grow. So when you take all these things away from yourself, who do you become? And that's a mystery in itself. You feel? It's a mystery. Ooh, you got me spinning around. What have you done to me? You feel me? This is freedom in itself. You feel me? If you want to be free, you got to let go of all these things that you identify yourself with. Throw away your name. Throw away everything that you know of yourself and see what you find.